Hey guys, as you can see, I'm chilling on my couch, and what I want to do in this video is talk about the price of a new coin. What you'd maybe call a speculative coin, a coin that hasn't been proven yet. But when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about a coin that isn't on an exchange yet. It's not on an exchange, it's not being traded. Or if it is on an exchange, or even, perhaps even two exchanges, it's on exchanges that have very, very low volume. So the price, you know, if you see a coin that's on an exchange that doesn't have a lot of trading, it doesn't have a lot of buyers and sellers, then the prices that you see there really aren't any kind of indication of what the price of those coins are. But let's assume that the coin that we're going to be talking about, this imaginary coin, I can give you some examples, but the coin we'll be talking about, let's assume that it isn't on any exchange. Now, this is a question that comes up time and time again. People always ask every single day, what do you think the price of this coin will be? And I see this time and time again because I have mined some speculative coins. I've mined some coins that aren't even on an exchange yet. And people want to know, what do you think the price will be? What do you think the price will be? And when you point out, well, the coin isn't on an exchange yet, it doesn't have a price, then they'll say, yeah, but what do you think it will be? And yes, there's always, you know, there's people that are more real, you know, more of a realist about these situations. But you get fanboys as well, and you get people that are loyal to the coin, but sometimes that can kind of cloud their vision as to what a coin will actually launch at and what they think will go to. You see all the kind of crazy figures going around. Someone will say, I wouldn't sell for anything less than $10, and then the coin lists and it hits an exchange for like 5 cents and things like that. Or someone will say, I wouldn't sell for anything less than $100. I'm planning on hodling the coin for 2 years, and yet the coin gets launched, it's $5, and despite the fact they said they had no intention to sell, they're really unhappy the fact that the price of the coin is low. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of speculation that goes into you know, the price of a new coin that's coming up, but it isn't an exact science. It isn't an exact science. You have to kind of look at a lot of different factors, but there's a lot of unknown variables. So no one really knows until it hits an exchange. You don't know what the price will be. And just, you know, in cryptocurrency, the price of any coin is basically what someone is willing to sell at and what someone is willing to buy at. And there's always a margin in between, and there's a little bit of jostling, and then they meet in the middle, and that's the price of the coin. Depending on, you know, if there's more sellers and buyers or more buyers and sellers, that will influence where the price goes up or down, etc. But I think if you're looking at the price of a new coin, a coin that isn't on an exchange yet, you can kind of divide it into two categories. You've got mining, which, you know, is kind of variable as well, but you've got the mining statistics, the mining facts here, and then you've got marketing and you've got exposure. Now, the exposure of a coin is highly influential as to what the price of the coin will be. You can have the best cryptocurrency in the world, you can have the most features, the best security, all these different solutions and wallets and apps and everything, but you know, if no one knows about your coin, people probably aren't going to be trading it. So, you know, you can look at facts and you can look at figures, and all these things are, of course, very, very important. But if you look at the market itself, a lot of the cryptocurrency market is still fueled by rumours and exposure. Now, exposure, look at John McAfee's Twitter account. He can talk about a coin and the price will go up. You can criticise him, say he's a shill and all that, but if he talks about a coin, the price will go up. And it makes sense. He doesn't even have to say anything positive, because a lot of this is just exposure. If more people, you know, if 1,000 people know about a coin, then a percentage of that 1,000 people might buy or sell, or they might start mining it. But if the actual pool of people that you expose a coin to is 1 million people, then, you know, it goes to figure that you've got more people buying, you've got more people mining, the price will go up. But marketing and exposure, I would say that the majority of new coins, speculative coins that I've been mining, have been more kind of community driven. So they're not backed by big ICOs or big companies or big banks or anything like that. They're community driven ones, and they don't have a huge amount of investment, and because of that, they don't have a huge amount of exposure. They aren't really being talked about by YouTubers, by people on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. Those are the coins I've been mining. There are, of course, ones that do, you know, explode with a bang. They've got, you know, airdrops and ICOs, and they've got, you know, they've paid for advertisements and they've paid for YouTubers to show the coin and all that. That influences the price of the coin. It really does influence the price of the coin. But it's so hard to predict which way a coin will go, even when you know it's going to get a low exposure. It's really, really hard. But if if we're talking about a speculative coin, if we're talking about a community-driven coin, a coin that's been kind of driven by the community, that perhaps was started with a little bit of money but not much, and you know, they don't have a budget for advertising, they can't pay the absurd amount of money that people like John McAfee charge, then a large, I would say the most factors that go into driving the price of the coin when it hits an exchange would be mining related. It will be related to what kind of return the miners are getting. So there's things to look at. For example, the max supply of the coin will influence the price of a coin. So if you've got, you know, like look at a coin like Raven with, you know, what is it, something like 21 billion coins it's going to have in total for a max supply. There's already 1 billion coins. Because of that, that's never going to be a $100 coin. You know, it's just not going to happen. But you can't talk about the max supply without talking about the block reward and the block interval. You know, with Raven, you're going to get a lot more coins per block reward than, you know, Bitcoin private, where you get, when someone mines a block, the total number of coins is 1.56. So you've got the block reward, you've got the block interval, you've got the max supply of a coin. The higher the max supply of a coin, the lower the price of a coin. It should be. Scarcity drives the price of a coin. You know, if there's less people who own a coin, then the price will naturally go up because there's less people to sell it. But the other thing, you've got the block reward, you've got the block interval, you know, how often a block reward is given. You've got the max supply. Of course, you've got all the facts and features of a coin, security and all that. But you've also got the hash rate. Now, the hash rate is all the power of the network, the power, you know, the number of people that are mining the coin. The more people are mining a coin, the higher the hash rate will be. And the more people that are mining a coin, the more people are sharing a block reward. So all of these things tie in together. If one of the coins that I've been looking at, and one of the reasons I've did this video is because Safecoin is launching an exchange soon, and the hash rate over the last week has been kind of on, you know, normally around, I think, 0.5 to 0.7 megasols, I think, normally. But it's spiked up a few times when people have bought nice hash power. Now, say it's 0.5 megasols. If the hash rate had to go up to, say, 2 megasols, then there's 4 times as much hash power, which means that, yes, the block reward will be the same, the max supply the same, you know, all those factors are the same. But you're now getting a quarter of what you got before, because there's 4 times as many people fighting for a slice of the pie. So hash rate is very important, but you also have to remember that when the coin actually hits an exchange, the hash rate will change. It can go up and down. The first week when a coin hits an exchange, it can be a little bit erratic. It can go really high, it can go really low, because people are dumping the coins. It's really hard to predict what's going to happen, you know, because of people shelling the coin, because people dumping the coins and all that. But you have to realize that if a coin is undervalued, you know, like say for example, every day with my mining rig, I could get $50 mining Zcash. But with a new speculative coin that isn't on an exchange, I could get $100. People soon find out that you can get $100 with this new speculative coin. So more people start mining it. And because of that, all of a sudden the hash rate goes up. And instead of making $100 a day, it goes down to 80 and then 70 and then 60, and it kind of drops down. And you see this on what to mine and other cryptocurrency calculators. When you're looking at mining calculators, you'll see certain coins at the top, but a lot of the time they're just kind of swapping positions every few days. You know, in the Equihash coins, you'll see Bitcoin Gold change with Zencash, and it'll swap around with Zcash, and it's going up and down because some people are mining Zcash and then they see that, you know, Bitcoin Gold is really profitable today, so they'll switch around, they'll profit switch, and they'll change back over to the other coin. So the hash rate goes up and down, you know, dependent on the price of the coin that day. The price of the coin goes up, well, you're going to make more money mining it, so more people will switch over to it. So all these things are factors, and these are things that you need to take into account. It's interesting to talk about all this because I think things change so quickly in the mining world, and the price can change, but then also with the number of people mining a coin, it can change the price as well. It's a kind of double-edged sword. For example, if everyone was mining Bitcoin Gold and then the price of the coin dropped, well, then all of a sudden you've got less people mining it, which means you've maybe got less people selling it as well, and there's less people trading. This is the thing, you know, when you talk about the fact that some people just want to mine a coin, they just want to mine a coin and then hold the coin long term, but there's others that do not. So I mean, I talked about it earlier where some people might say I'm going to hodl for a long time. I'm not going to sell. So say for a new coin, I could say I'm never going to sell it. I'm going to keep this coin for, what, 2 years? Or I'm not going to sell for under $10. Now, I might refuse to sell for anything under $10. But if someone can make a huge amount of money mining a coin on a daily basis, and they can still sell the coin at, say, 30 cents or 40 cents, then the price is going to get driven down to that point. They're going to get driven down. And this is why you find out in the what to mine calculator, a lot of the coins are very similar as far as returns go, because if a coin, you know, is much more profitable than other coins, people will mine it and they'll sell it. You know, as many people there are like me who want to mine a coin and just hold it for a while until the price goes up, there's a lot of people that just want to mine and sell. Mine and sell. They want to cash in every day to pay for electricity, perhaps to buy new hardware, whatever they want to do, or maybe they just want to trade and then buy other coins that they want to invest in. But those guys can really influence the price of a coin. So if someone is getting a fantastic return on a coin, then they'll just trade it. They'll sell it whatever they think is a good return for them. Perhaps, you know, if Zcash is giving them $50 a day and they can make $60 a day, then, you know, whatever the price of the coin for that to be, to give them $60 a day, that is how, you know, where the price will go down to. So again, a lot of this is just kind of, there's a lot of things you can look at, factors. There's a lot of things that that will influence where the price will go, but it isn't an exact science. And there's many examples where I've thought that a coin will go a certain way and it's went the complete opposite way. Sometimes the market does some crazy things. Sometimes news and rumours really drive a price higher than what anyone thought, and then that attracts more miners to the community, and then all of a sudden you've got all these other people now mining this coin and they're involved in the community, and that's now the new norm, you know, because there's more people mining it. More people mining it, they make less money for the block. You know, they're making less coins, which means that they're going to sell the coins at a lower price, a higher price, sorry. So yeah, I just thought I'd talk about this. I'm sure many of you guys who mine are aware of all this, because when you mine a coin, you need to examine things like this. You need to look at what your return will be. But I think there's a lot of people, investors, and people who really aren't involved in mining, they don't realise that all of these things come into play when a new coin hits an exchange. Safecoin is a coin I've been, you know, mining for the last month or so, and exchange is coming soon. If you had to ask me right now what I think it will go to, I really don't know. I think it could be anything between, you know, 5 cents and $1 in the short term, but in the long term it could be anything up to $10 or something. I could be way off the mark, and this is the point of this video. You can look at the factors, you can look at the max supply and the block reward, you can say that a coin's undervalued and all that, but sometimes the market doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And if you've been mining a coin, then you're probably going to be the seller, but sometimes the buyers just aren't out there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. It is quite an interesting subject, I think, and it's something that you're going to come across time and time again. I think if you do look at these factors and you are involved in coins that then hit an exchange for the first time, just pay attention to what's happening. Look at what happens in the first day. Look at where the price goes. Look at whether people are dumping the coin and all that. Now, it doesn't seem like you're learning anything. It really doesn't seem like you're actually going to learn anything from watching that. But, you know, fast forward 3 months down the line, you're involved in another coin that you're mining that's going to hit an exchange for the first time. You might be able to see some patterns. You might be able to see some signals that will influence whether you sell, or maybe you hodl, or maybe you'd buy some coins on that day. Every day is a school lesson, as they say. So yeah, try and take all these things into account. You might not make a lot of money. You might make the wrong move this time when a coin hits an exchange for the first time. You might sell early. You might buy too high a price. But you're still learning. And next time, you might make a better move. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do leave a comment, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care.